The Israeli Zionists are convinced they have successfully camouflaged their new kind of colonialism, said by Malcolm X in his essay named Zionist Logic, written in 1964, in where he critiqued the apartheid segregationist state of Israel. Despite these words now being over 60 years old, they still hold true within the contemporary state of Palestine. Over the span of more than half a century, Israel has ethnically cleansed Palestinians from their home nation, which is a horrible violation of human rights and should be immediately stopped. You can help these Palestinian citizens by participating in the BDS movement. That first image over there is a real image of the ruthless destruction employed against these innocent Palestinian lives. I have been following this Palestinian genocide since October 7th of 2023 and have read various articles and watched countless videos and debates about this topic. Some of the prominent people I've researched, either indirectly with my free time or directly with my research for this speech, have been W.E.B. Du Bois, the aforementioned Malcolm X, and Norman Finkelstein, all of which were pro-Palestinian political activists. During the span of this speech, I will explain the abhorrence happening currently in Gaza, explain the root of all of this tragedy, and how you can make your voice heard by participating in the BDS movement. The death in Gaza is detestable and quite frankly a gross demonstration of war crimes. As Americans, we need to understand where our tax money is going to, since America financially supports Israel in their offensive movements. The main problem with Gaza is the unjustified death occurring at the hands of the IDF and their disgusting gross violations of human rights. Since the rekindling of the Palestinian state and the conflict on October 7, 2023, there has been a great deal of innocent civilian casualties. These casualties occurred since Israeli soldiers have been very consistently shooting Palestinian kids in the head, to the point where nurses are recognizing this to be a consistent pattern in the Palestinian attacks. According to the article, Israel is routinely shooting children in the head in Gaza, written by Amy Goodman and Feroz Silwa in 2024. This behavior is obviously very disgusting and needs to be immediately stopped. The poor victims of these attacks need justice, justice which has been so obviously taken away from them for over a year now at this point. Additionally, the death toll in Gaza is 44,000 as of November 2024, according to an article written by Wafa Shufari and Fatima Khalid, published in PBS News. In spite of all this mass death and destruction, people should think there should be a good reason for these gross violations of human rights, but to be quite frank, there just isn't. The given reason for the extermination of the Palestinian people is because they want to ensure Gaza, which is a part of Palestine, is no longer a threat to Israel, but this reason can be very misleading. Despite this being Israel's official reason for bombing Palestine, there are many factors that make it seem like Israel is trying to get something more other than their own protection. Some of these other things that they may want could be wanting more land in order to expand their ethno state and continue their colonization efforts. This can be explained due to the fact that they're doing other things other than protecting themselves, and they're being much more offensive. For example, Israel attacked 94 hospitals in the first week of the October 7th attack alone, leading to 29 workers being killed. As written in the article, attacks on healthcare facilities have increased in the past decade due to human rights groups, written by Abid Khalid as well in 2023. This justification for genocide is not only pitiful, but also a weak masquerade that does not hide their bigoted goals. Additionally, around 70% of the death count in Gaza are women and children, according to an article written by Mallory Monik. This statistic is contradicting the reason Israel gave for bombing Palestine, since it is so obvious they are not just trying to protect themselves. And instead of going after these innocent women and children, they should be going after Hamas, which is a terrorist group who were the ones that orchestrated the rebellion on the day of October 7th in 2023. So in light of all of this death and despair, you must be thinking to yourself, how can I do something to stop this tragedy? One possible solution to help stop this genocide would be participating within the boycott, divestment, sanctions movement. This can be a solution to the problem of the Palestinian genocide, since it lets companies know that we will not stand for their support of the Israeli apartheid and their complicity in genocide. The BDS movement has been known to work in helping stop many malicious forces in the past as well. This boycott works by targeting companies that are known Israel supporters. These companies are aware of the BDS movement, and by boycotting these companies, we incentivize them to stop supporting Israel since we are making them lose money. The movement has already caused a loss in a $110 million contract for a company that the BDS movement was boycotting, according to the article written by Charlotte Silver in 2016, named UN Agency in Lebanon drops G4S. G4S is a private security company linked with many anti-immigration policies in Europe. This shows that with enough determination, the BDS movement can be very effective and has been in many previous protests. Please take a photo of this graph in order to see what companies you should be boycotting if you want to participate. This is a lot of information, so I'll quickly recap the main points of my speech. The contents of this speech explain how horrible the treatment of Palestinians has been and the many human rights violations they have had to endure. The misleading truth as to why Israel is attacking Palestine and how to help stop this horrid genocide. We see through this gross disguise of self-defense and recognize it as an act of terror against the Palestinian people. Thank you for your time.